Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Let's take a look at what's happening to BTC here as we talked about this 4-hour 200 moving average. A lot of people thought they could short this and was going to get a dump, and they got nastily squeezed to the upside. I told my whole crew and everybody not to be shorting above the 200 moving average of the 4-hour time frame. Many, many times in my life, that's been a beautiful big move to the upside for Bitcoin. Let's break down what I see happening throughout the weekend and where we could end up as the week ends. Let's take a look at our weekly candle close, which is going to look absolutely lovely. That's going to be a tweezer bottom on a bullish tone to the upside. And that's the first thing we want to see. If this candle closes just like this, I will take it. So if we go sideways for the entire week, it'll be an absolute blast. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So that's, so I like what I'm seeing here on the weekly. Okay? That's a good sign. The weekly has passed the bull test and is more bullish than bearish based on what we're looking at. 5-day chart, put in the gold, already put in that tweezer bottom. Boom. Looks like it bounced off a golden pocket. I was saying there, under my breath there, the golden. And you can see from this wick here to that wick there, you bounce into the golden pocket with the bounce on the 5-day chart. I like what the 5-day did there. The 3-day, another beautiful candle. This one closes in 1 day and 11 hours. Let's see if we can turn that green. It would be a lot nicer than a red. And here we are with the daily. So my crazy brain-haired scheme here, which is like insanity, right? Has no basis on what other people do. But I was looking for this inverted head and shoulder. Complex inverted to save the day for Bitcoin and continue the bullishness to the upside. I said, I don't know if that's going to happen for sure, but I called a hidden bullish divergence. Hidden bullish divergence suggested that we would get a reversal back. And if you look at it, it's so beautiful. And you get the bounce to that 618 Fibonacci retracement. Unreal. You got the swing down, low stochastic. And we went over this yesterday in depth. I showed you how you can find this in many other charts. I first found it in Aave, then I expanded it to Bitcoin, and then I just kept going throughout my trading career. Hidden bullish divergence really changed the way I saw the markets, gave me the confidence to put large amounts into big trades when most people were full of fear. And also the fear and greed index also played a part because every single time I had some hidden bullish, we did have some fear. We got, I think, back into like the $60 region. 54 yesterday, it said, actually. Look at that. Yesterday was 54. So we were in the neutral, and that's whenever you're in a really good bull run and you go into neutral, that's like being in a regular run and going into the shady region. So you got to take advantage of these areas. Very, very important here for Bitcoin. Shout out to my lovers of life and everybody out there. Thank you for jumping on into the Saturday morning stream. It's a quicker stream. We get in and out. We just show you what's happening. Can we look at DJI? DJI 6930 is a little sick. It dipped down to the 786. They flushed it down $10 million overnight. Had a beautiful run up. Now it looks like it's struggling. It did wick to the 786, which you would think would be a bottom. And I'm in this coin, so I'd like to see this thing bottom out here. To make big money, though, you're going to have to go through the ups, the downs, the ups and the downs. It's never going to be perfect. But dang, this thing was looking more and more bullish, like it was going to do a big continuation. Since that beautiful high there at 85 cents, and we did put it, I found it at 660,000 market cap. Then I saw it here. But again, gains to be had by all. Right? If you played it and weren't greedy, 4 to 5x is pretty sweet. Right? When I put it out there as 1 penny, went all the way to 8 cents. So you did basically a 7x from my call, my public call. All right, that says 3x. I don't know. I guess fine, 4.5x. But still, anything over 1x, unreal. But imagine 4.5xing in just a few days, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. About a week, maybe 10 at the most. So I'm still bullish on this coin. It's got a great following, big cult. People seem to be selling off on it. It's in that fear zone. That's why I would be buying more when people aren't paying attention. But hey, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as such. You got to figure out whether this coin is for you or not. It's for me. And I'm still in. I'm up since I got in. But dang, we did lose some gains there on DJI 6930. It's a meme. It could go to zero any day. You know that. Like, you take a shot, I take a shot. It is what it is. Okay, let's move forward to BTC. So Bitcoin. just kind of sitting pretty here on this daily time frame, up and down. You know, you got a big wick to the upside too. You know, a little bearish on the daily, but not really a big deal. I would never trade Saturday mornings. Probably the worst day to trade, specifically after we've nailed these trades for the last week. We actually did call that Saturday morning bottom last week, but last Saturday was a completely different story. We were struggling. We had to bounce. Things weren't looking good at all. 22, 12-hour looking good to me. Let's take a look at that 8-hour. Still in good shape in the 4-hour. So let's talk about my thesis here and how I trade the 4-hour. So we're just kind of looking for the 4-hour to make a beautiful flag here. This looks great. Come on down. We don't want it to make a double, you know, kind of a cat ear pattern, you know, where it makes kind of like a double top, though. Looks a little closer. I'd like to see it bounce. If it loses the 200 moving average, it's going to drop down here to this trend line and possibly for a backup support at 114,174. Look for a bounce at 116 or 115.5, that key area of support and resistance. So Bitcoin getting tight on the 4-hour time frame. What I'm looking for is this flag to break out. So I'm projecting for a breakout of the flag. Profit taken at 120,000 is likely. That's going to be that key area we're going to have some stress at. Once we break through there, it's all-time high, so it's basically the all-time high. Like, it's not, but it is, because if it's the only resistance you have to get to an all-time high, then once you get through that, you're likely going to break an all-time high. So technically, if you get through it, you're at an all-time high, you know, based on TA. And I've trusted in that and put my faith in that, and it's played out pretty well. So Bitcoin, just kind of drawing out the scenarios for you. And on a slow Saturday, it's looking like it could take 8 hours of sideways price action. You know, 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 candles, you'd get super tight. So 8 to 16 hours of Bitcoin getting tight is my prediction for the day. And it, you know, again, we could easily just start to dump and maybe we're down here. And this turns into, but I don't know if we're going to have that liquidity, right? 99,200, better be here at 100K, because you're looking at the real influence of the year right there. Best show on YouTube right here. Did I win, man? I never found out. Did I win? Did anyone find out who won the awards? Did they put out the win? I've been under so much pain with the earache. There's me, though. That was me. They were bringing me to the event last night. This is me right here getting, they had me going to the event. I'm just messing around. Remember that day? That was that day they said nothing happened at the mall. Kind of crazy. Whatever. Probably. Don't talk about the alien at the mall. Sam, you should never talk about that alien at the mall. But there was an alien at the mall, man. Telling you, man. They snuffed that story out. You know what to do. I don't even know what happened. Where do they put out? I've got so much anxiety right now. Milady meme, somebody said. Oh, Ton's got a Milady meme? That's awesome. So where did they put out, like, who won? What happened, baby? You gotta admit, the pieces they put out for me, that's legit. I don't drink, just so you know. Just kind of cheered and put it back down. Pretty cool time, though. Who won? I don't even know. Did anybody know? Quick Saturday liquidation. When did you start trading? I'm 32 and just started and have so much FOMO. Oh, it happens all the time. I started trading when I was 22, man. So I went through years of that emotion. Now I don't get it as much because I just, I just been doing it for so long. It's whatevs. You know what I'm saying? So we're looking for this to go sideways here on the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin. That's my Bitcoin prediction for the day. And that's what's likely going to happen based on my years of doing it. Hey, Lifer, where is your music? Have a poker tourney today and need this music for the vibrational chill. This is Deep House on Epidemic Sound, but I don't want to give it away. So you got to do whatever you want. Different type. It's a Deep House genre. All right. This is Real Life by West and Xander. All right. Reliable, I have not heard. They have not put it out yet. I know of Sammy, I have not heard. Unbelievable. Yo, Aerodrome doing damage. Bang, bang, bang. See what can happen here all the way to the upside. Can we get to 119,000? You know. This is look at the bull tap my chance. Look at what we did. Anyway, we already know who the Influencer of the Year award is, man. It's me, man. They can give the award to whoever they want, but like, come on. People that take days off, people that, you know what I mean? God bless everybody, though. God bless AJ. God bless everyone that won. But I'm not going to, you know. And it is just an award. It's not supposed to be taken too seriously, but dang, man. You know what I mean? Show up every single day, baby. Bang. But so tightness here. Tightness here. For Bitcoin here on the 4 hour. Like, I'm here in the morning, Saturday and Sundays. These people are out partying. You know what I mean? They're not even paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm putting in way more work than anyone in the system. But you know what? They kept asking me, are you going to show up? If I had said yes, I'm going to be there, I probably would have won the award. But AJ probably went. You know what I mean? Because, you know, not to be rude, I'm super busy. I have a family, Eric. I just flew back home. Like, I'm going to Singapore. We're building up a lot of stuff. Like, we got stuff to do. I'm not saying the awards, you know, I would love to have gone to the award system, but to the award event, I just, also, like, I didn't even know about I guess I should know it's August every year at Rare Evo, but I feel like it got kind of it's not like I got an email about it 5 months ago. Like, hey, we're going to have this in August. It was like 2 weeks ago. I was like, are you coming to and I was like, what? Oh. Yeah. Well, lady, whoever has bots in every, oh yeah, who cares? Anyway. Well, God bless him. I can't say I'm not a little sour. You know what I mean? I was up for, and then who won the best TA then? You know what I mean? Did I win best? Did I win anything? You know what I mean? I'm like, whatever. My ego's getting stroked, right? Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm here with you beautiful people every day. Yeah. You got to give it to AJ, though. He worked with VeChain. He did an interview with Dana White. He's getting out there. He's doing his thing. AJ's grinding. So, hey, God bless him, man. God bless him. But Influencer of the Year award, man, like, I just feel, you know what I mean? And honestly, I'm not an influencer. So even my team, they kind of said they didn't want me to win the award. Be like, Sam, you're not an influencer, man. You're a trader. Like, you're a teacher and educator in the space. You know what I mean? So, kind of, even though it was a great title, but man, you know, yeah. It said remaining winners to be announced at the Bitcoin's Bend side event yesterday. Interesting. Yeah. Shout out to everybody here. Anyway, here you go. It is, Crypto Billy says suspect. Very suspect. You know what I mean? If anything, like, you got some YouTubers that have been around for a long time that have been banging on them. But it's all good. It's all good, man. Being awarded for an influencer isn't the flex. My team personally did not want the word influencer next to my name. You know, so I was excited about it, but they never said, they were kind of like, we'd rather you not get an influencer award because we don't want you to be an influencer. You know, an influencer who is someone that, it's going to sound wrong if I do it. So you guys can look up influencer and figure out what an influencer does. I sell education. You know what I mean? And I teach every single day. So we're looking for Bitcoin to go sideways here on the 4 hour time frame. All right. Best TA is the flex. That's what I'm trying to see. I want to see what's happening with that best TA. I want to know where that belt's at. You know what I mean? I want to know where that belt's at more than anything else, to be honest. Because that's what I do, man. I do technical analysis. They had best Bitcoin coverage too, which I thought I should have been in there. I do Bitcoin every single day. They had best altcoin coverage. I cover alts every single day in depth for an hour. I spend 10 hours a month, a week going over altcoins. But whatever, I don't know if they were thoroughly researched or they know exactly what my show does. You know what I mean? Crypto Billy, man, I'm sending in the troops, man. I'm sending in the troops. We're gonna find out what's going on right now. Get to the bottom of it. Adam, the guy who put the whole event, kept texting me, "Are you flying out? Are you flying out?" And I said, I don't know if I can. I just got home. I just text him right now, like, I won't say anything. Let's take a look. Anyway, so we're watching the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin. That's what it is. We'll watch this 1 hour too right here, which is looking beautiful. Ascending triangle beginning to form. I mean, it's all looking like a lovely move here. That's your measured move. This looks like you could go higher, honestly. Looking like 120,500 could be the target for Bitcoin. It does have resistance here. Like some people are going to short this double top. You know, cat ears, right? And it could drag yourself down. I could see it could go either way. Saturdays are sketchy, but the 4-hour looks good to me. And to me, it's all about the 4-hour 200 moving average. Right now, enter a trade with a stop below that and then just like sit pretty and see what happens. Even though it is a weekend, good chance the price action does what it's supposed to do there and makes it happen. I'm going to actually take that trade on a Saturday, which is insane, right? But that's how much I have faith in the 4-hour time frame. So let's take a look at what's happening. I'm going to go to Weeks, my beautiful Weeks account. God bless Weeks. Best customer service in the game. And right now they're doing all sorts of cool stuff. They always have a rewards hub. You can win a $1 million S2. Pretty crazy too. Weeks $1 million Future Season 2. And they're also giving away Bentleys and all sorts of cool stuff. You can register for that and find out where you stand. Do daily spins as well. It's pretty awesome, man, on Weeks. Let's go to the futures. And you can sign up for Weeks. No red tape. Just simply, easily. No VPN. No needed. Ready to rock. So look, the 15-minute has been using this. The two we called it long yesterday on the live stream right there. Remember? The bounce, or was it? Yeah, right here. The bounce off the 200 moving average on the 15-minute time frame. It had come to it, bounced, and we called the legendary long here. And price action, I think it was right here is where we called the long yesterday. Yeah, around 11:15 yesterday on the 8th. Yep. And we got in. It bounced, breached back up, bounced again. I ended up taking profits. This was a beautiful trade. Came back now. It's bouncing. Look how it keeps using the 200 moving average as it's kind of saving grace here for a bounce. I like that. That's important. So I'm watching the 200 hold us down on a smaller time frame, while I'm watching the 200 hold us down on a bigger time frame. You see? Now here's the 4-hour USDT here. I just want to make sure we're matching. We got this uptrend up that's riding the 200 moving average. Some could even say that this is a breakout already. You're playing games outside of the triangle. Outside of the bull flag. Like it was a bull flag that broke out. Like this idea gives you, because you might come back down and test the bottom of the pattern here. Now, Saturdays are not my favorite days to trade. If I got wrecked all week, I wouldn't be touching Saturday at all. If I'd won tons of money, I might just risk a little bit. You see what I'm saying? So this week was a very good week for me. Things went my way. Almost every trade hit. So I'm willing to trade Saturday. You see what I'm saying? But I wouldn't trade Saturday if I had a tough week because it has low probability. So it doesn't mean I can't win. It just means the probability is lower, right? So you don't force trades on Saturday if you've had a tough week. Me personally, you do whatever makes you happy, but and that makes sense. That's math. I'm doing the math. I'm like, well, mathematically, I had a great week. Things went my way. So there's a good chance that I could take a little bit off the table here, and if I lose, I'll be fine. So you know what I mean? So that's kind of like how my week goes depends on how I trade. And that has nothing to do with actual trading, actual trading strategy. Like people have trading strategy, like moving averages, indicators. Then there's actually, do you even know how to trade? Like, do you know when and where to trade and why? What's your reasoning for taking the trade? You see what I'm saying? This is a smaller account too that I'm growing. That's a nice 4-to-1, almost a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. I always double check the last price again, make sure I'm spot on there. And then just raise it into the limit. And there you go. There's our stop loss there, our take profit, and we're nicely in the trade here on weeks. Remember, you can slide this down, slide it back up, order operated successful. Same with the stop loss. I'm not going to do that. We're going to be keeping it real, like podcast, right? Let's talk about our baby Kita. I mean, Kita was a buy off of the Fibonacci lows, and all the way back to almost $500 million. And we talked about it breaking out of this flag, and it did that. I gave you Kita back here at 12 cents. When it came back down to 38, nobody wanted to buy it. This is what could be happening right now to DJI 6930. They have their run-ups, they have their run-downs. People feel bearish like it's not going to go anywhere, right? But that's usually the time to load up again for some gains. Shout out to anyone that jumped into Kita. Kita making absolute gains, banging on them to the upside. Bang, bang, bang. And let's see this thing kind of move back up here all the way, you know. So you're looking for Kita to make some gains, possibly to 0.236, right? So weeks adding sliding stop loss. It's always been, yeah. Support this man. Shout out to Reliable J. Shout out to everybody here. Reliable J, thank you so much again for constantly giving memberships, man. Every single day you've been doing this, man. God bless you. Thank you so much. May God bless you. So Kita, continuing to bang. And when you look at Kita now, you can zoom out. And now it's making this bigger consolidation. Do you see? And big consolidation is a bigger move. So you can now start to get your next measured move for Kita to 294. And start really projecting into the $1 billion market cap. This thing's been hot, man. We found this thing down here, 12 cents, like months ago. We're talking March 25. I mean, can you look at Trump coin? Says keeping it real 24/7. Thank you. What's your favorite spot exchange and why? Honestly, there's for different reasons. I like Weeks because I know the people there, and I know, like, you know, I just know the customer service, great people. I know who runs it. I know who's pushing it. I know they're really passionate about the exchange. So I like, you know, I like MEXC because it's super inexpensive. The fees are very, very, very low, right? When it comes to spot, yeah, I mean, I'll use Weeks and MEXC to hold spot, you know, mainly, but sometimes more. And I don't want to tell everybody where all my coins are, so, you know, but I do like those two exchanges. Somebody says Turbo gains will be flowing now. We'll take a look at Turbo. Turbo's got a great following, right? And it started very organically. Definitely wants to come back to that $1 billion market cap. Wow, is that really Turbo though? On the is it dumped down to the zero? Hold on. Make sure I grab the right coin. You never know. This is Turbo. Yeah, that wasn't the right Turbo. It has been struggling. Okay, it's not been amazing. It's attempting to make some higher lows, and it's creating a new trend. Trend your friend until it's not, right? So that's your trend. And it's closer to the bottom of the trend than the top. Some people trade trend like that. They just buy near the bottom and sell away from the trend line and repeat on multiple assets. It's a pretty simple way to trade, right? If it's near the trend, it's likely at the low, right? It likes to bounce off the trend, doesn't it? I mean, this is simple stuff. So, Turbo. Wow, the market cap got demolished. I haven't looked at it in a while. Didn't realize that it had really took in such a beat down. I do see it continuing up over time, but I don't know. I mean, it's not my coin. Yeah. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you. We don't miss super chats here on the live stream. What we do is we have someone that picks each and every one of them, and we go through them. And then I also come back to the fan funding, and I check through each and every one of them. Never missed a super chat. We missed one here and there, but it's very rare. Like 99.9% of super chats get seen here. So nothing got missed. We just don't do it exactly when you want. Yeah. We don't do it exactly when you want to do it, but we go over it. All right. Good morning. So we're looking at DJI 6930 there for Taylor Murphy. Thank you. UMAC on NYC. You're okay, friend. Let's take a look at. I'm okay. I think I know I'm okay. I don't need you to tell me I'm all right. God bless you. I appreciate that. All right. I'm just. This guy said I'm okay, Billy. Does that make me all right now? So UMAC. Last time we looked at it, we wanted to see it break out of this, and then it flagged out. It got tight inside this flag, right? Let's see if the 1 hour Yeah, 1 hour, that actually looked pretty good. I said, let's see if it can go sideways and continue out. Now, it didn't continue the yellow way, so it should have stayed inside the pattern and consolidated. If it leaves the pattern, then that pattern's kind of nil, right? So that's why what I do is I put an alert here. It's the alert. I wasn't trading it. I went over it for somebody. Hit the alert. You see that it's not in the pattern, you don't trade it then. Now you reassess the situation. Had it hit the alert sideways, then we would have traded it. It's a very simple way to trade. See, you set up the highest quality projection that you're looking for. You only trade it if you get it. If you don't get it, you leave the trade alone. It takes heavy discipline, thought process, and preparation. 3 things that 99% of people don't have. Seriously, as funny as that sounds, it's true. So looking at UMAC. Reminds me of mac and cheese, right? My buddy EMAC I used to hang out with. Shout out to EMAC if you're ever out there. You ever hear this? That would be crazy. He's like, yo, it's me, man. It's EMAC, bro. From Spanish Harlem. You see this shoulder, head. I see an inverted head and shoulder there, as sloppy as it is. Could break up to the upside, and I like what we're doing. I'd look for that to come up and retest 1093. And it does have a target. It says up to 17 over time. A little more bullish than bearish. Another thing we could look at is just this trend line that it's in, right? You want to look at it on the daily time frame. Open it up. Trend is your friend yet again. It seems to have this nice trend. It's getting very tight in a giant symmetrical. They're 50-50, but it has been building momentum. So why wouldn't it continue to the upside here? And then this is a bit of a flag, see? So yeah, I'm looking for it to eventually hit 17. Looks like you do it somewhere by September 15th. Let's see if my call is correct. If it loses the 200 moving average, everything is over. Like if it, or at least for then it's stalled out. We want to make sure these moving averages stay tight. We want to make sure this coils up and breaks to the upside. It's looking like it's ready. UMAC. Thank you for that. Let's take a look at WIF, hat, SWIF, sheep with a hat. Sheep with hat, SWIF. Sheep with hat on KKEX. It's also on weeks. Wow, I think it's running up on the daily on weeks. Pretty hot right now. Bounced off of 002 to 7. That's a 3x, right? 2 times 3 is 6, and it's 2 to 7. I think it was in the high 2s, though, so maybe not exactly. Huh. I'm going to look at this on Dex Screener, too, as well, but it seems to have made itself onto weeks, which is pretty awesome. Weeks getting some newer coins pretty fast. Sheep with hat. So it's been out of control for the last couple hours. Brand new coin. Could easily go to 0. I have no idea why the old, look for this to consolidate. If it consolidates, there may be something here. Shout out to the super chat putting us on to something that nobody even knows about. Saturday mornings are great because a lot of people are sleeping right now. They're not going to wake up and grind 10 in the morning, 8 in the morning. They're out all night. Now they're hungover. Slow being, I don't drink. So I wake up ready to go every Saturday morning, ready to rock. Yes, I've been on, painkillers and stuff due to my ear. Yes, I still have ear pain. It is what it is. What are you going to do? Ethereum. Let's talk about our baby ETH, baby. ETH booming. All-time highs, right? $4,000 an ounce, and that's, I love saying that, but $4,000 a coin, and that's what we're talking about for Ethereum. And I looked at it here. Looked for it to make a right shoulder first, but it just decided to boom to the upside. The highest it ever was, though, there is 4,859, but the all-time high for this cycle so far, and Ethereum at $4,000 an ounce, just absolutely booming, taking names and kicking butt, and that's going to help all of DeFi. When you see Ethereum boom like this is awesome. Had it in that flag. Funny that you could almost say that's the little bitty right shoulder there, but almost say like broke out of this indecent flag, but it's just super tight. XRP looks similar for a breakout move here. $5,000 for Ethereum, and then it's going to be an all-time high. Once ETH is an all-time high, and again, if you see the news, man, they're buying so much ETH behind the scenes, and it's going to be the biggest. Everything's going to be tokenized on ETH, on chain. It's going to be huge. Institutions are fiending for it. They're going for it. It's Ethereum all the time right now. And They're not making enough Ethereum for the amount that's getting bought. It does have an infinite supply, but right now, it is basically producing less Ethereum than people are buying. It's a very, very big deal. TA on SD Stater, please. Good morning, brother. Can you look at Trump coin? ETH leading this rally now. Yeah, ETH is just on fire right now, for sure. Look at the 4-hour time frame. Still, I mean, it's got some bearish div. It's a little overbought. Yay. I'd be looking for the 1-hour time frame. Flag that puppy out. Get that thing. That thing could just continue to rip. Looks like it'll go to 5,000 because it wants to so bad. 4,600 to next level for Ethereum. Beautiful gains for ETH to the upside. Absolutely amazing. Ethereum just taking off since Thursday night, just going on a massive tear. And we gave you the call for ETH. Even though it didn't make the right shoulder, I had the stop and the entry there for Ethereum. Ethereum continues to rip. Unbelievable. XRP in the game. XRP taking names and kicking booty. That thing was ripping the last few days. We had it in this flag. Look for this flag to continue here. Pull this out. Pull these over. XRP. Still on a flag that could definitely pump. It's going to be altcoin day today. That's why you don't just pass out and show up 1 in the afternoon on a Saturday. You never know what could happen. And good morning, brother. Can you look at Trump coin? Somebody said. We'll take a look at Trump coin. So SWIF looks good. Look for it to go sideways. Put an alert there. I could see this thing going to 9009. Making another 50% run there. SWIF with hat. Sheep with a hat. Let's take a look at Trump coin. $1.9 billion in the market cap. I remember it was like 12 billion. I called the top of that coin. If you watched it on Twitter, I gave you exactly when to get out. I made a nice boatload on this coin. What a crazy day, man. So, you're looking at to form an Adam and Eve and then eventually get on out of here. Once people have decided that it's, the value is higher than it is and the value continues to grow. Very high risk. First level to look at is 16. Next big level would be 25. I've seen this happen before. It's very, I know we're just going very barbaric here. Just boop, boop. But it's an Adam and Eve. And then you got a double bottom here too as well. Either you believe in that move or you don't. It is what it is there. Stater, SD, which is, DeFi. So I wanted to see if it could go sideways, but it decided to come back down to the 200 moving average. So that's why you just set up projections and wait. You don't get hurt when you're waiting, and you don't take trades that don't fill out the projection. Bouncing off the 200 moving average is nice. Looking pretty sweet. We're going to pull a fib here as well. And bang. All the way to 139, right? Rejection by 91 cents. 91 would be the next level. That looks beautiful. I mean, you're buying the bounce off the 786. Again, I think there's better stuff out there, but if, Stater looks like it's about to bounce. And the target Stater would take it to is 137. And there you go, as alt season starts to heat up. So shout out to Taylor Murphy, Lift the 99, Kyle, Dark Knight, Reliable J, Keeping It Real, Nathan. All right. James, Professional 807, Swee, please. Can you check out DMC? Yep. And thank you, James, for sending 10 Crypto Lifer gifted memberships out there. God bless you. Let's take a look at DMC. DeLorean Labs. It finally got above the 200 moving average on the 4 and making a very tight channel. I tell you what, there could be low liquidity and they might just grab stop hunts because it's, I don't know. I've seen that happen when a coin doesn't have that much going on. But I like this tightness. I like the 4 hour, and this says, yeah, on your way to 9. 008 and to a penny, hopefully. You cut through a 0. But 88% gains looks pretty likely from this coin right now. Stochastics pointing up, tight moving averages, and you're above the 4 hour 200 moving average. It's just the weekend, the liquidity is a little low, which tells me you never know, right? Keeping it real since podcast, man, right? Let's take a look at Sol. If ETH is pumping, is Sol about to do damage? Or, yeah, I mean, Sol ripping. We talked about Sol in this bigger channel here. We saw this cup and handle. Looked like that was going to be the last chance you could get into Sol before it pumped. And it starts to pump. I see Sol, coming up. Then probably it might go sideways a little bit here. But it's on its way to 264 target. Solana. And that trades in the money now. You can move that stop loss to break even or just shave up the stop a little bit and continue to ride. Bang. Exactly, right? That's the whole point. Love that alt season is here. Took forever. It's not here. I mean, it is here in some way because ETH BTC is holding up strong. And it's ripping. And that's what you want to see for alt season. Like, that's just, look at that. So, ETH Bitcoin ripping up on Bitcoin. But again, there will be a pullback. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance bleeding out as you watch my macro analysis video. And we saw this bear flag, drew this for you. And that's a nice leg. So far, so good. Everything's kind of going our way here for the altcoins. And you got to love that, right? Bitcoin trade flat, but I like what I'm seeing here. Same idea. Sideways price action. It looks like we could all just kind of start to breathe. We get this pump above the 4-hour 200. It's going to be like a celebration. It's going to be an alt season barbecue out here. So that's my update for you this morning. All right, let's take a look at SWI before I jump on out of here. I've been bullish on SWI. I have multiple setups for SWI. I've talked about SWI many times. Told you SWI was the one. And I see SWI, loading up. It could come to the top of the channel, come back down one more time. There's a chance 357 is given to us one last time. But man, I DCA or grab my SWI, and I've got bags of SWI right now on 2 different exchanges. This thing could do numbers. I got 931 for SWI. And it says we could get there somewhere by November 18th. All right. Greetings from Greece. May we see AVAX. Type in Keep It Real Since podcast. Some crypto lifers have found me. Amen. Keep It Real Since podcast, man. It's weird. Keeping It Real Since podcast. Buzzsprout. Keeping It Real podcast episodes. Keeping It Real podcast on Spotify. Is that it there? Real world assets are booming. Financial institutions. I kept telling you Chainlink was going to be the one. We were going to see a move in Chainlink. Wow, Chainlink rip. I wanted to see it stay inside the flag. It did the dolphin dip, made a deeper flag here, kind of like this, and then boom. Still headed to 26, and I got bags of Chainlink. And look at this. I mean, it's a giant double bottom. See, Stellar Lumens did it. When Stellar did it, I figured they were all going to do it. Look at that beautiful double bottom, right? It's got a giant measured move, and that's taking you back to 26, back to this next resistance for Chainlink. And people realize, man, it's a real world asset. It's one of the hottest coins. I don't know why nobody talked about it. And institutions love it. And when they wake up and they have big money, it's going into Ethereum, Solana, Chainlink, like SWI. You know what I mean? You know where the money's flowing at this point. We knew this 2-3 years ago. We were just waiting for these moments. All right. Nobody had the patience but the lifers. You know how many people couldn't hang? You know how many people left this market because they just couldn't hang? They didn't get the gains when they thought they should get them. They didn't get sent the gains immediately. You know what I mean? Like, we have so many setups in the group. We're pushing out so many updates, and we're giving it to you guys every single day. So I don't take days off. I'm here all the time. I'm still not the influencer of the year, though. All right. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. But honestly, he just had a baby too, so it's kind of a nice thing to do. It's the awards. Like, I think it's given out of respect for people when their life changes too sometimes, So Bitcoin will still outperform all. Years ago, we had to wait for Trump to get elected again. Should I convert my Bitcoin to ETH or alts or keep holding Bitcoin? I would never tell you what to do. You do what makes you happy. Yeah. Nice move here, though, for Chainlink. Now what? Like, dude, that 15-minute flag may break out nicely. Chance you could just continue to trade Chainlink here. I'll move up to $23, $24. God bless the crypto livers on YouTube only now. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. Check it out. Keep it a real Sid's podcast. All right. How come you never asked me on the podcast, man? What's going on? That's my bro right there. Love you, man. Thank you for always being there. So Bitcoin dominance, we want to see one more swift lick down to 58. Looks like altcoins are going to get some love right now. Thanks for the last 3 years of your knowledge. God bless Marcus in the house. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah. They should have given Vegas Claw the no pants on stream award. You're funny. Everybody, I'm going to jump on out of here for the day. It is Saturday, still dealing with some severe ear pain. I think by Monday I'll be okay. My house got destroyed by the AC slow drip. $40,000 worth of damage. We have fans in the floor ripped up right now. It's a blessing though, right? I'm a blessing that I have a house to get destroyed. That's all I got to say. And hopefully the insurance deductible is $10K. And it'll be $40,000, but I'll only pay $10K and everything will work out. So, you know, in a month from now, it'll all just be like, dang, can you believe that happened? I'll look at B3. I'm very curious to see what it's doing just on Coinbase there. You know, it's got that rounded bottom, kind of like a slanted Adam and Eve we talked about earlier there. Not amazing though, right? 4 hours in a flag. Almost every coin, you know, Bitcoin breaks out of that 4 hour flag and then it's going to be on like Donkey Kong. Looks like everything could do some damage. I hold tons of altcoins, so I'll just be able to get paid. And I'll put out setups and stuff too that I see throughout the day. B3 does look like it could break to the upside though. 1 hour looks better. 4 hour above the 200 moving average, touching the 21. That is my go-to, but they could, on a weekend, you never know, could be a stop hunt too. I'm always weary, but at one point, there's going to be no stop hunts. It's just going to be all love. And it's going to be all, you know, and you're going to see people that are afraid aren't going to get in. And then that's why if you just get in all the time and beat that habit up, then eventually at the right time, you'll get paid. That's why I always trade. Notice how I always trade. Sometimes people think it's not over trading. I'm just always in the motion of trading. So when the right thing happens, I'm going to be able to open up the right trades. It's kind of like you got to be in the habit of doing it to do it. Otherwise, you won't do it at the right time because you'll think, well, if you only do it sometimes and then you're in fear and then sometimes you're in fear and you go back and forth. Someone asked about Pump, USDT. Let's take a look at that. I stayed away from it. I figured it was a trap. You know, last time we looked at it, I said maybe it's finally ready for that higher low, and it did break out. A little bit of gain, 16%. I don't know. I think there's just a lot of hype about it. Too many ins and outs. A lot of people lost money or in and out trying to sell it off once it gets to their key area too. That's a head and shoulder pattern. Previous support is resistance here. Kind of got a descending triangle. I'm not saying it's going to dump for sure. Maybe it has to make like a falling wedge first. I got to say, I mean, that's a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. That looks like it's going to dump a little bit. Somewhere down to here. Probably gets tight and still pumps like everything else, but doesn't look amazing. Yeah, and I got 100K of SOL, baby. Let's go. All the way to the upside. All the way to the upside. That last little dip was a buy. I bought a bunch of Bitcoin in that dip. Even though it didn't look good, I said, man, I don't know what's going to happen here. This looks bearish if we lose these key levels. But I have to always buy the dip because the dip is what's got me here. That's another thing. If you're in the habit of buying the fear, then you're just going to buy the fear every time. And if you buy the fear every time, there's going to be a couple times where buying the fear pays out really big, right? So that's my strategy, is to be in the habit of doing the same things over and over again. So when the time comes, I just end up doing them. You have to understand how simple that is in trading. But it's not that easy. It takes years of practice and just doing the same stuff over and over again. Like when I see the 21, I trade it. Yeah, I got bagged the other time on the daily there. And maybe some people lost faith in me over that. It's so crazy. One big bag, and I feel like people just like, they get pissed at themselves, and it's easy for them to blame me because then they don't have to blame themselves. The idea is they don't know my strategy. They just watch me and take mine 1 or 2 times and then blame me if it doesn't work. Had they found out that if they stuck to the strategy that I find, another thing about that is they lose my strategy. They're not able to do it. Then they don't learn anything from me, which is sad. So if you blame yourself, if you blame me for everything, then you're never going to be able to learn anything from me. Understand? And that's not my fault. I can't do anything. I can't bring everybody to the end, to the promised land. You got to believe you're the opportunity and have and that's why I talk about the positive attitude. Because people that believe they're the opportunity don't blame other people. Because if you're the opportunity, how could it be your fault if you make it? How could it be someone else's fault if you make it? It's not. You're the opportunity, right? You made it happen. Now, people help you along the way. It's not the me theory, but it's the idea that you're the opportunity. BOOKMAP suggests we go lower. Like if you had a bet on BOOKMAP, which we don't, but you just look at it by the probabilities, it suggests you go down to 115,507. All right? 115,750 is what it's telling us. BOOKMAP. When you did, we did. So yeah, pump doesn't look amazing there. I think there was another chat that came in. Have a great weekend, Omar. God bless you, man. Thank you. And make sure we did all the super chit easies. We did SWIF. DMC. I don't think I looked at DMC. Yeah, we did. DeLorean. We did. Yeah. It does look like it's about to pop. Kind of Adam and Evie. We looked at Trump. So I just go over it every time too. So Taylor said hi. We looked at that. DJI. We looked at UMAC for Lift to 99. We looked at SWIF from Kyle. We looked at ETH, Dark Knight. We looked at Keeping It Real, Trump Coin. We looked at Nathan Stater. Professor, we looked at SWI. DMC. People sent their memberships. James, thank you. We looked at only YouTube right now. God bless you. Thank you. Thanks for the last 3 years of the knowledge from Marcus, and have a great weekend. God bless. So we got all the super chats done. Shout out to all the top fans out there. Marcus is the top fan today. Gabriel, Kyle, Wow Live, Keeping It Real Since podcast, and all the beautiful people out there that support the channel. May God bless everybody here as this continues to grow, as the market rips. I can only imagine. So there is more liquidity to the downside there. And that could be the 4 hour. Let's take a look at Bitcoin one last time before we jump on out of here. Beautiful call, the 1 hour at that 4 in the morning call. The bot's still doing its thing. So yeah, it came down. Now they're saying liquidity grab down to 116.5. So there, you open this up. Maybe there's a chance we're going to go lower here first. We could hit the trend line right there and go into this liquidity. But their lowest zone is like 115.7, right? 115.700. You see that? Not saying we're going there, but that does look like we may go lower. So we'll watch this closely. I'm looking for the bounce here on the 15 and the 1 hour. Back to the top of the channel. You know, when I make it kind of like this, you can see how the 4 hour could technically open up, still be bullish, and come back down here. See, this is what I like. That's why I like the 4 hour. We could come back down to 116.5. I don't want to see 115.8 though. I really wouldn't want to lose 116,000. We do that, that's bearish. So these are people that are getting in with me, and that's their liquidation levels. So instead of stop losses, they're going to get liquidated where I'm going to get stopped out. And we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. I'll be back tonight to go over kind of what we talked about today. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Thank you so much for being awesome and being a lifer. May God bless you all. Congratulations to AJ for winning Influencer of the Year. That's awesome. God bless him and his new family and everything. He deserves it, man. He worked his butt off. He did a lot of connections, giving away Teslas. He's doing his thing. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you so much. I'll see you tonight.